West Ham United come off the back of a draw and an eventful night in the Europa League on Thursday night. Well, we take the trip today over to West London to take on Brentford, who are, excuse the pun, buzzing after last week's 4-1 victory over Chelsea. Hope you're all well watching. This is the match day build-up show and starting 11 breakdown for Brentford versus West Ham. It's 12:45. We're 15 minutes away from the lineup, which means we're an hour and 15 away from kickoff. I'm joined by Luke from the Three Hammers. Luke, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I went on Thursday. Good experience, to say that I've seen my team play in a quarterfinal of a European competition. Atmosphere was incredible. I hadn't been for about 2 years. Won the Grand National yesterday as well with Noble.
Oh, you had Noble Yeats.
I think a lot of West Ham fans were on that yesterday, though, weren't they?
Yeah. Definitely. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Sharky's been a member for 8 months. Come on, West Ham. Thank you very much, Sharky. And indeed, come on, West Ham. Lucas, Kanye Wines, hope you're well. Callum as well. Hi. Robert, hope you're well. And Sharky, of course, is in as well, as always. It's a bit of a tricky one, this one, isn't it, Luke? Because we played on Thursday night and we've played 8 times in the Europa League. And on the next Sunday after a Thursday night, we've only won 3 out of the 8 games. We don't tend to be at our best for a good reason after playing on a Thursday night. It's quite a difficult one with Brentford today. What do you make of it?
Yeah, they're a bit like Leeds, with their high energy and they're in your face all the time. It's one of them teams you don't want to play after playing on a Thursday night, like you say, mate. It's a tough one. It is going to be a tough game. They got Ericsson, who's in serious confidence comeback. Great to see as well. After his bad time last year.
Yeah, definitely. They've got those players there, and we played Villa a few weeks ago, and we just kind of man-marked Coutinho out of the game. You've mentioned Ericsson there. Do you think we try and do the same today? He's coming back into some form after a pretty horrible 2 years, and he's come back and he's going from strength to strength at Brentford. Do you think we've just got a man-mark Ericsson out of the game today as their danger man?
Yeah, it would make sense. He's not as he's not as quick and as fast as someone like Coutinho, but he's got that pass. Few players have got that quality pass. He's a great set piece player. He's got to be dangerous. It's going to be a hard. I really like Rico Henry as well, the left winger for them. Really, really top player. Wouldn't mind him at West Ham actually.
Yeah, they've got some good players. Obviously, the obvious one, Ivan Toney. They've got that Visa, Mbuemo down the wing. He's got some pace who caused us some problems earlier on in the season. Obviously, we found out the hard way earlier on in the season of what Brentford are all about, but teams have started to work them out as the season has progressed. They had a fantastic start. They beat us. Do you think teams are just working them out now, and that's why they've dropped down so much as the season's gone on?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, mate. When you're 15th in the table with 6-7 games left to go, the table don't lie. It's where you should be. Maybe they've had a little bit of unluckiness with a few little injuries here and there. But yeah, I think after a while, the whole point of their season this year was to stay up. Get up, stay up. And it looks like they've done that. So it's a successful season in that sense. And they'll want to push on next year, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. There was a stage where we were thinking Brentford, they are looking down and they are dropping like a brick, but they've kind of just obviously there's some awful teams in this relegation battle, and they've kind of just held their own and done enough to not completely plummet down into the real relegation battle. So, they will be in the Premier League again next year, and we'll see what they can do then. Let's see who else we've got on the chat. Trev Tube, hope you are well. Josiah, hope you are well. Nervous for today. I think we're all nervous, and especially after the results from yesterday. We'll get onto that in a second. Love from New Zealand. There we go. New Zealand. We've got Kieran, I think, who's in Australia. Rivals. G'day on Jake. Kieran, hope you well. Kieran, what's the time? Lucas, what's the time where you are? What time will the game be on for you? Some ridiculous time, I suppose. Trev Tube says, really, really hope we can get the result after others around us slipped up. Indeed. Jay Woods, excited for today, lads. Stakes are high after results from yesterday. Frankie, good afternoon, Jake, and hello to everybody. Everybody's saying hello to everybody as well. And of course, a couple of people have mentioned it in comments there, Lucas. Slip-ups from United, Arsenal and Wolves over the last couple of days have presented and opened the European door up again. Where last week it looked like a closed shop, to be honest with you, and now it's all opening up as teams' wheels are falling off by the looks of it.
Yeah, mate, it's there to be done. If we win today, we can go fifth, which is fantastic. You're still fifth with 6 games left to go, and you're in the quarterfinal of Europa League. That's progress. That is progress with no shadow of a doubt. I think we probably, out of the next 6 or 7, probably need to win about 3 or 4 to solidify it. But I think a win today, and you can more or less say we're guaranteed Conference League. I know we don't want that.
No.
But we'd probably be more or less guaranteed that 7th place if we were to win today.
Yeah, I think some fans just need to take a step back as well at some points, because if we say we're in the business end of the season now, and if we would have said when we were 1-0 down against Newcastle on the first day of the season, do you know what? With X amount of games to go, you're at the business end of the season. You had a semi-decent run in the FA Cup. You did really well in the Carabao Cup. Got to the quarterfinals. Could have got further, but we didn't. We're in a quarter-final and well in a quarter-final of the Europa League. And we are still in this European race. A lot of people have said, you know what? I would take that, and that's exactly what we're dealing with. So we've just got to live it up and hope that we can continue, and the players we've got can hold out until the end of May.
It's like, I hate being negative because it has been a good season, but and I hate giving Tottenham praise, but you look at their players, Bentancur and that winger they signed. If West Ham would have just signed maybe 1 or 2 just to give you that little lift, where could we have been? I hate talking like that because it's still a great season, but just shows that that Lingard-esque player would have come in. We probably would have been 4th, I think.
Yeah. I think it's the way it's the way that people are looking, as that at Spurs they signed 2 or 3 players, and they really worked, and we could have been in that position Spurs are in now if we would have invested. But obviously that's all done and dusted now. But hopefully we can show that intent even more in the summer and just go again, and maybe go that one step further. But let's have a look at some more of your comments. And Robert says, my head says 1-1, heart says 2-4 win to West Ham. That is. I'll tell you what, if it finishes 4-2, Sky will be kicking themselves for picking whoever it is, Norwich, Burnley today. They would be kicking themselves. Sharky said, I'd love a 4-2 win. We would all love it. And let's hope you're high, everyone. We will win this one. Let's hope so. Jay Wood says, Arsenal are bottling it after losing to Palace and Brighton. I agree. If we can win today, it'll be beyond immense for our push for Europe. Yeah. And let's just hope we don't do a West Ham today and go and put in a stinker of a performance, Luke, when it really matters, when the opportunity has been presented to us.
Yeah, mate. We keep using the words. I see every channel using it. West Hamitis. We just don't need that to come in. We didn't do it against Lyon. Let's not do it against Brentford. Let's try and stay West Hamitis free until the end of the season and really give it some.
Yeah, and any people watching who are going to the game today, you'll be delighted to know that alcohol will be served in the away end. So there we go. You can enjoy a pint just to put them nerves down slightly for all of you. 1,800
£7 or something, but
yeah, £7.50 for all of you. 1,800 in that very small away end today. But Sharky says we better not have that referee from Thursday in charge. I tell you what. For a moment, I took for granted how good our referees are compared to that geezer we had on Thursday night. It was atrocious, wasn't it, Luke?
It was horrendous, mate. It's a classic Jose Mourinho. If I talk, I'm in trouble.
Exactly.
It was that bad. It was awful, mate.
Yeah, it was. Just hope the players aren't too tired. There's an element of that, and if you're David Moyes and you're picking the team now, obviously we know the goalkeeper's probably going to change, but apart from that, how many changes would you be making?
There's a possibility. I was thinking maybe Soufal at right back if he thinks that Fredericks is the better option for Lyon, and then maybe Vlasic, maybe Vlasic for Benrahma. Like, I wouldn't play Lanzini. I know Lanzini's potentially available, but I would save Lanzini for Lyon. I think he's going to be a real crucial player in that game, and I still think we should have enough to give him a good game with that. 2 changes at max, maybe 3.
Yeah. Let's just dive into that right back situation we've got now, because obviously Johnson got this injury or something. To be fair, I don't know what happened. I was on holiday. I just saw Fredericks start and I went, oh, really? But Fredericks started.
2 good games.
He has, yeah, and that's what I was going to say. He's almost stood up and went, you know what, I'm still here, boss. You've gave me the opportunity because Johnson was injured and Soufal was still injured. Fredericks came in, and he's done the job. Do you think that puts in a little bit of a doubt into David Moyes' minds for who he picks if all 3 are fit today?
Definitely. Listen, when you're a footballer, you've got to come in and take your chance. And every time a right back's played this season, they've took their chance. Johnson, Frederick. If anything, Soufal's been the worst of all of them, and that's and he hasn't been really, really bad. He just hasn't been the Soufal we know. But now we know that Soufal's obviously had that injury, and hopefully, this operation, he's got back, and we get that Soufal back that we had about a year ago.
Yeah,
it's definitely a problem. Good problem.
Exactly.
Good problem.
Yeah. But obviously we know Cresswell's going to start today because he's suspended for Thursday for whatever you make of that. We can't change it. So do you think that means Cresswell's going to start, and then we're thinking that Johnson's probably going to play left back, which means it's going to be Soufal or Fredericks on Thursday. So maybe it's an extended time in the lineup for Fredericks going on to Thursday because of Cresswell being suspended and somebody else. I pray not Arthur.
Yeah, 100%, mate. That's what it will be, I think, in my opinion. Johnson will play left back on Thursday. Cresswell has to play because at the end of the day, he can't play on Thursday, so he may as well play him tonight. Yeah, but is that right? But I don't know who it will be. I don't know whether it will be Fredericks or Soufal. We'll find out in 3 minutes' time. I'm not sure.
We will. Just before we do that, we're going to come on some comments in just a second. But let's talk about the Vlasic-Benrahma whole situation. We'll talk about Benrahma if he starts in a moment. Obviously, his old stomping ground, Brentford, etc. But Vlasic, Vlasic, do you think this is an opportunity for him today?
He's got to take a chance at some point. And the thing is, when he's played, he works hard. He does work hard. He's got quite good hold-up play. He's playing within himself a bit. I don't know whether he's playing his perfect position or not. I'm not 100%, but Benrahma's not doing enough at the minute. He's not. He overplays. It's the first time I've seen him play live was on Thursday, so obviously watch him on telly, but you can see where that frustration comes from.
Yeah,
it's that extra take on. It's that do another step over. Like, just release the bloody ball, mate.
Yeah. We see it. We see it week in, week out, and you see it even more when you're there live. And the times people say, well, he's had a lot of assists, but he's put players have put him in some flipping good positions over the season. He's had so many, and even on Thursday night, he's been put in so many good positions where he's just fluffed it or whatever, which you wouldn't get as much with as Bowen. And you can see the levels between the two players. It's obvious, and it's just not working there. But we're 3 minutes away from the lineup. Let's take some of your comments. And Kieran says it's 9:57 now, 11 p.m. kickoff. Good time for a change. Yeah, 11 o'clock at night. That's good for Kieran.
That's not bad. That's quite a nice time.
Yeah. Sharky says I'd take a spot in the Europa Conference League.
I would. I'm not. I don't particularly want it. I would prefer Europa League, but I'm not going to turn my nose up at European football.
No,
it's probably a competition we could win as well.
Yeah, definitely. We could have a good go at it. But Frankie says I'm really not feeling too confident, to be honest with you, Jake. As Brentford have just beaten Chelsea and they've already beaten us earlier on in the season. Yeah, they're coming off a really good game. Whether that was, I'm convinced that wasn't just Chelsea being absolutely atrocious because they smacked Southampton 6-0 yesterday. So, that was some deal of Brentford playing exceptionally as well. So we know that they can be a force to be reckoned with, and when they turn up, they do turn up, and they've shown that at Stamford Bridge last week. Let's just hope. They're a very mixy-matchy, blow hot and cold side, so hopefully they blow cold today. Martin Atkinson's the referee. There's worse out there.
He's not too bad. Not too bad.
No. Let's scroll down. Luke, hope you are well. All the Lukes today. Jay Woods says, I think Fornals could be rested after Leon. One of your favourite players, Luke Fornals. Do you think he starts again today?
He's my favourite player, so I have to start him. I just love his work rate. I think when he's on it, and I can sit here and say sometimes his passing's off, but I do believe when he's on it, he's one of our best passers in the team. He's just so quick with the mind, his work rate. I personally would go with him on the left, Vlasic in the 10 role, and Bowen on the right. That's what I'd personally play today.
Right then, so that's what you think will happen, and the lineup is in a little bit early today. Lovely. In goal, Lucas Fabianski, a back four. Returning to the lineup is Vladimir Sufal, Zuma and Dawson as the centre backs. Creswell playing out on that left-hand side. Of course, the ever-present two in midfield of Rice and Souček, and a front four of Jarrod Bowen on the right, Lanzini in the middle, Fornals out on the other side, and Antonio up top. So the big news there, that's 3 changes from Thursday. Fabianski comes in, Sufal comes in, and Manuel Lanzini makes a return after suspension and a slight knock. Well, what do you make of that? Benrahma benched, Johnson on the bench, Fredericks on the bench. Plenty to discuss there, Luke. What do you make of it, firstly?
Well, it's the strongest lineup, really, isn't it? But we could argue Johnson or Sufal at the right back position, but that is his strongest lineup. It just shows that he's taking it seriously. It's good to see. I wish we had a bigger squad, but it's good to see. You play yourself into form. The more you win, the more confident you get. You can't just throw games and expect to switch form on and off for the Lyon game. And it's good. It's good to see, mate. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get that lineup up on the screen for you. I'm just going to do that in just a second. Obviously, Fabian, which we would expect, Luke, and Sufal back in. Zuma, Dawson ever present. Creswell, of course, we knew would start. Benrahma benched. Vlasic benched. What do you make of that? Benrahma back on his old stomping ground, and he's been benched.
It might be a good call, actually, for Moyes, because him coming on, he could be really, really annoyed now. He might be thinking, for God's sake, I'm back on the bench. Him coming on angry could be a good thing. That might have been in Moyes' thinking. That might be thinking, I'll bring him on, he'll have a point to prove, because we all know that Moyes likes players with points to prove. So that could be a bit of that tactics there.
Definitely. And just to top things off, big Craig Dawson's on the cover photo. There we go. Let's have a look at this bench then. So we have got Areola making his way back onto the bench. Fredericks, Masuaku, Johnson, Diop, Krau, Vlasic, Benrahma and Yarmolenko. So our obvious attacking options there, Vlasic, Benrahma, Yarmolenko. I mean, this bench doesn't really change much, does it, Luke?
No Mark on the bench there, no.
There isn't. No, you're right.
Yeah. That's a strange one, yeah. No Mark. Yeah. That invisible striker there I can see as well. No, I'm joking. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Yarmolenko, we know what he can do. On his day, his left foot wand can do magic every now and then. Benrahma, point to prove. Vlasic, got to start doing something eventually, or otherwise he'll be one out the door in the summer, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But are you surprised by the involvement of Lanzini, or do you think because can he play on Thursday night? I think he can now because he's had his one game ban. It's slightly strange that he's come back in for this game. Do you think? And Benrahma's not started. What's your? I don't know.
I would have preferred Lanzini to have been held off. I'll be honest with you, because we don't want a situation. Like when Bowen got injured a couple of weeks ago, and you're like, we ain't got Bowen for Seville now. Last thing we want is not having Lanzini. That's the only, different card we can play that Lyon haven't seen yet. So I don't want him to get injured because Lyon hasn't seen him yet. They don't know what they're dealing with. And if they're playing against the same team, Lyon know how to beat that. Put Lanzini in there. It's something different. So, God forbid, please don't get injured. That's what I hope today.
Exactly. Before we jump into some comments, because there's plenty of them, let's have a look at our opposition's lineup for today then, making up Brentford's side, coming up on your screen in just a couple of seconds. Right then, there we go. Is Raya in goal, Adja, Zanka, Pinnock, Henry as a defence, I believe. Is that Norgard, Janelt, of course, Christian Eriksen, Mbuemo, Visa, and Tony. So the real names there you've got is that front four. To be honest, Eriksen, Mbuemo. Of course, we know Eriksen, Mbuemo. He really did cause us some problems, as did Visa back early on in the season. And of course, the ever-present, we know what he can do, Ivan Toney leading the line. What do you make of that, Luke?
Yeah, mate, I think you summed it up quite nicely there. Them front four are on their day, they're quite scary. They're hard-working, they're in your face all the time. There's going to be a good test for Zuma and Dawson, who are up to the challenge all the time. And like I say, I love Rico Henry down that left-hand side all the time. So Sufal, it's quite a tough one to come in against Henry, because Henry does bomb down that left-hand side all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely a key matchup that I'm sure David Moyes and Sufal have been working in the backroom stuff, have been working on to make sure he wouldn't Soufal wouldn't have started today if they thought he was up to facing Henry for 90 minutes down that side, because he's a tricky customer, and I'm sure West Ham are aware of that, and hopefully Soufal is up to the task. Let's have a look at their bench then. Fernandez, Canos, Jensen, Godos, Gianvia, Fosu, Baptiste, Beck, and Rosovlev. Yeah, I haven't heard of any of them either. So
apart from Canos, I think that's all I've heard. Canos. I hate saying I ain't heard of them because they're the ones that come off the bench and score against them.
Yeah. Shouldn't have said that, should I? That's right. Right, let's take some of your comments then. Robert says, be fearful of Visa and Tony diving. Okay. Luke says, after a thumping Hampshire victory, 3 points today would be marvellous. Marvellous. Let's hope so, Luke. Fredericks, yeah, you're smug, Wally, but he's not in that lineup. Are you surprised? P. Gads says, hernias take a while to recover. Fitness will be the issue there. I doubt he would start regardless. David Moss has proved you wrong there, P. Gads. He's proved you wrong there. Kieran's had enough of Ben Rama. Fair enough. P. Gads says, I don't think Vlasic has been given a good enough run to get into the swing of things. Yeah, I agree. That's what I've said. Given the run that Ben Rama's had at some point, and let's see what happens. But it's all well and good saying that, Luke, but you can't really drop any of the players we've got in there because you just can't do that, which is a catch-22 situation, because it's really good that we've got the players performing, but we've got Vlasic on the bench, which could do it, just not getting the opportunity. And
it's really hard, mate. It's really, really hard. Like, who are you dropping in that front four? No. He will not drop Antonio, as much as, sometimes I might say he's getting on my nerves, Antonio. He's not going to play him up front. You can't drop Bowen. He's our best player. Can't really drop Fornals because of the work rate. And Lanzini has played himself back into, 2016 Lanzini, where he's really, really good again. Exactly.
Jay Wood says, I wouldn't mind seeing Vlasic start. He'll want to prove a point to Moyes, especially with the World Cup this year. Yeah, that's a good point. And so, he'll want to be in that World Cup squad for Croatia, and he's not going to do that sat on the bench. But then again, to counter that, you saw his celebrations. He went straight down to that side when we scored on Thursday night. You could see he was there with Fornals. Get in, and that's what we like to see. Let's scroll down. Ben Rama against his old club. Yeah, well, he's not starting. It's an interesting choice. Last chance for Benny against his old team if he plays. It's slightly strange.
He scored in pre-season against them, didn't he? He did. That
was a banger. That was a banger. Yeah. We might get Astra Gugu in the Conference League.
No, they've been relegated. I'm sure I read they got relegated.
Have they? Oh, what a shame.
I read they got relegated.
Oh, what a shame. Luke says Benny has to play. He has started to look like he cares. Well, not on David Moyes' watch, Luke. I think Moyes rests Bowen. No, he hasn't done that. I like looking at all these predictions for the lineup after the lineup just to see who's right and who's wrong.
We've got it right, yeah.
Yeah. Soufal and Lanzini starting indeed. Soufal's back is great news, says Luke. Is it great news, or would you prefer to see Johnson in there?
I was happy for Soufal to start today because I think Johnson probably will be the one that starts against Lyon. But Soufal, he's got 90 minutes to say, look, Dave, I should be the one starting in Lyon. So really, we should hopefully get a really good performance out of Soufal today, because he'll have that in his head as well, thinking, I want to be the one starting in Lyon on Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely. See, this is an interesting point. Anna says, playing Bowen a bit of a risk, just come back from injury. He's had a month out, playing 2 games in 4 days. Or do you think it's crucial that Bowen starts because he's literally the only one scoring at the moment?
Well, to quote the song, mate, he is on fire, mate. He's 2 in 2.
Yeah,
he's 2 in 2. He nearly got an assist in the week as well if Antonio didn't jump over the bloody ball. The guy's on fire. I absolutely love the guy. And I think his next goal, when it comes, is 15 goals. When does a West Ham player ever score 15 goals? Exactly. Bloody long time ago.
Yeah, well, precisely. Sharky used the Dawson members only emoji. Love to see it. That's arguably our strongest team. Would you agree? Is that our strongest team, Luke?
Yeah. I don't think you can, apart from if Ogbonna was fit, that is our strongest team. Yeah.
Is it? Saving Noble for Thursday. No. Well. Moving on. NWO says Bowen. Bowen's the only one scoring. Yeah. Knows we've been in the Grand National yesterday, so he deserves the rest. Exactly. He if he was the horse or he was on the horse, or rather he was there and he got
Yeah.
absolutely slaughtered after it, he's just rang up Dave and went, mate, I'm not playing today. I'm not playing today. Antonio and Dawson to score. Antonio back on the score sheet today, Luke?
Oh, I hope so, mate. Honestly, I keep saying it in my previews. He's the sort of guy, once he gets a goal, he might go and get 4 goals between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
And how crucial could those 3-4 goals be if he was to go on a little run just now at the end of the season? So he's got one of them just off his bum, anything. I don't care. Just go in. Just please let the man score a goal.
Well, to be fair, it would help if he didn't jump over the ball and just avoid it on Thursday night. Then he would have got that goal. I mean, to be fair, I can see like he didn't want to go fully into it, but the defender wasn't getting to it before Antonio was. If he just put his foot through it,
you just take the risk. You take the risk. Smash the goalkeeper.
Yeah, don't care. Kieran says Antonio needs a goal today. That would be nice indeed. No under 23s on the bench. I feel it's a shame they don't get a look in. Luke?
Yeah, but it's so hard. Listen, I'd love to see Perkins, Chesters. We'd all love to see, another Declan Rice come through and start getting a go. But it's tried and tested, and it's players that he trusts. And you can't say they're doing bad. I know we get frustrated and we have bad games. We're like, oh, we should have won that game. But those boys have done it all year. They've done it for 2 years. Them boys he's put out there. So it's really hard to get in there. Really, really hard to get in there.
Definitely. Pete Guy says big test for Soufal today. Hope he's not too rusty. Bowen is good to help out too. Yeah, I agree. Pete Guy, let's click on it. Pete Guy says saw Jack Collison coaching for Atalanta United too in the States playing my Detroit City FC in the 30th USA football. P-Gads, not soccer. Soccer.
I love that new Leeds coach. I love his accent.
Jesse March. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Peter, afternoon late again. Hope you're well, mate. So people are putting in predictions. 2-0. Desmond says Kieran. Halves, hope you're well. 1-1. Mark Neighbour says give Vlasic 6 or 10 months to get you used to the league. It takes time, certainly from a league like Russia. On the flip side, players need to take their chance 10, 20, 30 minutes. He hasn't. Yeah. I think, to be honest, that's a good overview of it, of both sides of it, to be honest with you. And let's just see a couple of games consistently playing at least 70 minutes, each week.
When did he come in? Did he come in right at the end of the window? Because I'm thinking, did he get? He didn't really get the pre-season with us, did he?
Yeah,
either?
He came in
I'm not making excuses for him.
Because I think he came in because he signed on because it was the big deadline day in August.
Yeah.
He signed at 9 o'clock. I think I can remember it. Yeah, he signed 9 o'clock on deadline day in the morning. We were like, right, we're gonna bring about 10 players today. We brought in
so maybe 3. give him a good pre-season, and really start blooding him in and try and get him used to the system in pre-season when it comes.
Yeah, definitely. Lawrence, another one from the US of A. Hope you are well, my friend. Just woke up and ready for a victory. Let's hope so. Yeah. According to Sky, if you turn Sky Sports News on today, there's another game going on today up in Manchester somewhere.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. It's not like they've talked about it for 5 hours straight, But then what they did, what I found quite funny, they've talked about it for 4 hours straight, but every half an hour they go to Laura Woods at Carrow Road and speak about Norwich for about 2 minutes and then back to it.
Who do you want to win that game though? I'm more City. I hate Liverpool.
So do I. Yeah, Man City all the way.
Yeah,
all the way. Let's have a look here. Let's scroll down. I can see a Dawson header today. Boom! After his fantastic man of the match performance on Thursday night. Be good to see Antonio score and get his confidence back. Indeed. Next is, to be fair, Rich City is going to be about. It will be. I tell you what, it's been hyped up for weeks. You watch it be a 0-0. I'm going to laugh.
It wouldn't be a 0-0 or loads of goals. It's just how them sort of games go, where it's either really cagey or someone wins 6-3. I remember one at Anfield where they won 6-3 before, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's either going to be 0-0, 1-1, or 3-3 or something like that.
Yeah. We're slagging it off, but we'll sit there and watch it.
Of course we will. We've got nothing else to do. Mandy says, how lovely would it be to have a striker that scores? Let's hope Antonio hits form when he needs him to most. Exactly. Yeah. This is the business end. Be perfect if he starts banging in the goals today. We have got all the viewers around the world today. We've got Australia, USA, everywhere. there's probably somebody in Essex. Because that's you. There we go. Perfect. Done. How many goalies are on the bench? It's usually 2. That seems to be the usual. Let's have a look. Did Randolph make the bench today after shenanigans over the last few days? Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh no, only one Areola. So Randolph's been fully dropped out of the squad after saying he tried to leave. Lovely. Just one on the bench, which is an improvement. NWO says the small squad has clearly cost us this season. Don't speak too soon, NWO. You never know what might happen.
When you say that NWO by cost us, if West Ham get in the top 6, has it cost us? A quarter final of the Europa League,
at least.
Yeah, at least, and possibly qualify for Europa League again. As Jake said at the beginning of the show, you bite your hand off for that at the beginning of the season. I was just happy to get out of the group. I was happy to be in the group.
Yeah, we all were. We all were. I can vividly remember when we sat down for that Dynamo Zagreb game, and I sat down and went, you know what, I don't know what to expect, but whatever happens, I'm going to back the boys. And hour and a half later, I'm like, this ain't too bad, is it? We won 2 now. We
would all love top 4. Listen, that's the golden carrot that everyone wants. But to actually break that ceiling, it takes a long time. When Tottenham did get it took them about 2 or 3 years before Harry actually got there. It's all about the summer and trying to do it again. Would love it to happen. I'm not saying this, I'm not disappointed, but let's be realistic. We're progressing nicely.
Yeah. Lawrence says 2-1 to West Ham. Luke says 3-1. Bookies have Brentford favourites. Do they sense another midweek hangover, Luke?
Can understand why. Mainly probably because of the Chelsea result, and they're thinking that West Ham might have one eye on that. But I don't know. That lineup has sort of given me a little bit more confidence, actually.
Definitely. Win puts us 5th today, and
like, it gets back to that NWO comment. I'm not having a row with you, NWO. I'm just giving my view. If we won and go 5th today, has that cost us? We're 5th in the league with 6 games to go. It's crazy talk.
We're loving it. NWO says we always underestimate smaller teams who struggle. We do. That's true, but hopefully that changed today. Always the joker. Terry, hope you well. Looks like you've bulked up on that cruise food. I'll tell you what, when there's a buffet that's open 20 hours a day, like,
got to be done.
when you've got restaurants, you've got just honestly just eat food all day. It's just you've got to get your money's worth, haven't you? It's precisely. 2 goals for Antonio, says Lawrence. That's bold. It says Wally. I just hope Rice and Souček come back okay for midweek. Yeah. One thing I do want to mention is we saw Declan Rice. I don't know whether you saw it, especially more in the stadium on Thursday night. He gave the ball away quite a few times, which we don't usually see. Do you think that's just a bit of fatigue?
I think a few channels have touched on it, and I agree. I think he was playing within himself a little bit because of that yellow card, and I think maybe that was in the back of his mind a little bit. Yeah, well, it wasn't, one of his barnstorming performance that he usually puts in, but that's because he does usually give us an 8.5, 9 out of 10 every week. So if he just drops under that slightly, you think, oh, he ain't played that well, actually. But, still, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Along with Richard and Jake living the high life on the ship. Why not? I tell you what, we had a fantastic footballing experience because we got back for the second half of the Everton game and we went down into the cruise terminal where there was Wi-Fi to watch on the phone the game on Thursday night. It's what you got to do, isn't it? Yeah. Jason, hope you're well. Should have rested more players. Souček for Crowd, Bowen for Vlasic, Lanzini for Benny. Or you're shaking your head, Luke?
Not Crowd. Jesus Christ. I think I could do a better job than him. And I can't run it anymore.
You're a PE teacher, Luke. Come on.
At this point in the season, there's no point playing players that are not going to be there next season. At this point, there's no point.
But the other side of it, though, is that if they do all right, it's not only getting the money's worth, but it gives these other players a rest. Is it worth the risk?
I don't know. I don't think, not that we can still get top 6. I think if it was, what they call it, your suntan lotions on and you're on the beach, by all means. But there's still loads to play for, mate. We've got to go strong.
Oh, they are, definitely. Let's take some more comments. Pete Gaz says, I knew Gunners and Man U would have a dip in form. Maybe Spurs will bottle too. We just got to win the games that we've got and hope Spurs do Spursies again.
I know, I'm missing the real Spurs at the minute. It's like, who are this team at the minute? I don't like it.
who are this team when their own fans are singing as a joke, Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. This isn't how this thing works. You need to start getting battered again so we can start singing it. This isn't how this thing works.
Oh, I hate them. I hate them.
I know, we all do. NWO says Antonio played really well Thursday. His flicks and layouts were spot on. Yeah, especially for one of the counter attacks. He headed it on to Fornals and then ran on. You know, that's the old Antonio from last year that we're starting to see again. We win today, top 6.
Yard of pace, though. I think he's slightly lost the
yard
of pace.
Yeah, definitely. The 3 games we've got, and measured this on the preview last night, and it's the fact is that we've got 3 games that we should be winning. Everton, we beat them. Although it wasn't the best, we beat them 3 points. We've got today, and then we've got Burnley at home next weekend. 7 points as a minimum, 9 points, you know.
Yeah, and I think
is that what we've got to aim for?
Play Norwich as well.
We have, Norwich away.
You know,
in there,
there's some games in it, like you say, mate. It's at least 7 to 9 points. You've got to be getting out of those games. Yeah, Norwich don't care no more. We just can't. We just got to be hitting the wins when we can.
Yeah,
and Brighton last game as well. Brighton are not that great. I know they beat Arsenal yesterday, but they're not a great team. They're just a bit of a bogey team for us.
Yeah, they are definitely. You know, the teams we've got left. We've got Brentford today, Burnley, Chelsea, Arsenal, Norwich, Man City, Brighton. But you look at Arsenal's running as well. That's atrocious. They've got to play. I think they've got to play us, Spurs, Man United. You know, they've got to play all the teams around us yet. So you know their running is not nice.
There's a lot of twists and turns. Lots of twists and turns can still happen, mate. But we've got to win today to still be in with them twists and turns.
Definitely, yeah. But as well, you could look at ours and say we've still got 3 big clubs left in Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. So
yeah, we probably have to get a result in one of those games. We might have to get
at least one. I think.
One of them. Yeah,
at least one. Let's have a look at some more of your comments then. Pete Gaz says, if West Ham don't win another game this season, it'll still be a success. It would have been a success, but I think a little bit of disappointment would creep in. But yeah,
you don't want it to
fizzle out,
damp squid and finish 8th. Like if we don't end up with European football now, that would be a disappointment. It would.
Yeah, definitely. Mandy says 100% NWO, but we need to need him to start hitting the net. I'm just trying to find a picture because Kieran says Jake, did you sneak a cocktail? I didn't because that's illegal, but I did have a mocktail. See, it's different. It's different. I'm gonna find that picture in just a second. But whilst I look for that, let's take some more comments. 3-1 West Ham says Josiah. Yeah, Leon were a good team and it showed our character in leaps and bounds on Thursday night, didn't it, Luke? And it shows what we do it.
And I think that's the key word, a good team. I don't think they were great. There wasn't anyone that really frightened me. I didn't think, don't give him the ball. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to get the ball and go for us. Apart from when that boy come on in the second half, was his name Tete or something like that, the winger?
Yeah.
Apart from that, it wasn't frightening. And at the end of the day, we had 10 men for 45 minutes. And they only broke us out once. And it was a very lucky goal. It hit Frederick's foot and it fell to Ndombele.
Ifs and buts with that goal was that, to be honest, if Areola wouldn't have touched it, Fredericks would have cleared it. If Fredericks wouldn't have touched it, it was a very lucky goal. Jake, did you sneak a cocktail? I didn't. I had an apple and elderflower mojito, not a mojito because that's illegal. Mojito, lovely stuff. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the football. Lanzini is in for Benny. He is indeed. We'll see whether that backfires or works a little bit later on. Yeah, Leon looked better than I thought. See, a lot of people went into it thinking, they're 10th in the league, we're going to be all right there. But they still are a decent team, and they showed that, and they pinged it around us relatively well in periods of the game. But we showed our character exceptionally, and it's a level playing field with hopefully a better referee next Thursday night.
Please.
Like, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Luke's channel as well. The 3 hammers, you know where to find him. NWO says several players have looked tired throughout the season, can't be rested. Terry says just back from a 3-day golf trip. Out of 24, there were 3 West Ham. Celtic Manor resounded to bubbles a few times. Not sure the wedding party were overly impressed.
Got to be done.
It's got to be done, indeed. NWO says Leon, good passing possession team, a little toothless against 10 men. Burnley are fighting relegation, Jake. These are not games we want right now. Would you rather be playing the teams like Arsenal that are, going off it slightly?
That's a good point. Burnley are they're just a horrible team that, they just have that knack like a Stoke back in the day. They're just horrible. You don't want to play them. I don't know if I'd want to play Arsenal either, because Arsenal we just always slip up against. You just want them sort of mid teams that ain't really got anything to play for. That's the perfect fixture. But listen, we should be good enough to beat Burnley. We should be good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, everyone's going to laugh at this. We had lots of West Ham comments in Bruges and Rotterdam. Do you want to hear the funniest one, Luke? This geezer walked past. He went, West Ham United, Andy Carroll.
Hey.
I couldn't stop laughing. Of all the players, Andy Carroll. Made me laugh so much. Made me laugh. We had Irons, and I think it's one guy said to Dad, West Ham, my favourite English team, Green Street Hooligans.
It's amazing that's what they think just from a film.
Oh no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Maddie said the atmosphere there will be volatile. It will be in Lyon. We've got to take that into consideration. Terry says, regardless of how our season ends, it's been one of the best in my 45 years of supporting. Yeah, indeed. That's what a lot of people have said. Stop moaning, people. This is the best we've had it for a long, long time.
Enjoy it, because West Hamites will come back. we will catch it again.
When, where, we don't know, but it will come. Louis says, coming on, we need to win on Thursday. We need to win all of our games. Let's just win all of them. That'll make it a lot easier. Frank says, West Ham to win 5-1. Woohoo! Comment of the day, though, Jake has mocktails everywhere he goes. Like it, Mandy. I like it. David Moyes has done West Ham really proud. He has, and he's proved everybody wrong, and we all know that. Never a red for Crystal, indeed. I just don't want to talk about it.
No,
Peter says, all the players and coaching staff in my books all give me pride in West Ham.
Leaders, mate. Something we've not had for a long time. Leaders. Yeah.
Indeed. I tell you what made me laugh was when the referee was walking off at half-time. David Moyes was going at him. He took the yellow card, David Moyes. That video on the BT Sport Twitter page, that's hilarious. He was really... I thought he was going to punch him next.
He was gone, mate. His head was gone.
He was fuming, absolutely fuming. Let's scroll down. I'm looking forward to Burnley. It will be the last time for a few years. Yeah, we'll put that to Dan, the Burnley fan, next week. That's going to be funny. Frankie says, Creswell's red card was really harsh, never a red. If it was a Premier League game, then it would have been a yellow card at the very most. Where was the VAR? Exactly. Well, that's a miracle. We've got to the bottom of the comments, and it only took about 20 minutes. Luke, any final thoughts, anything you'd like to add for this game?
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think I predicted a draw. I'm sticking with a draw just because of tiredness. I think it'd be a 1-1 draw, which ain't a disaster. It's not a disaster. I'd love a win, but I think we just, again, might just not have enough today, because they're going to be flying full of confidence.
Oh, so Luke's going for a 1-1. Who's going to score for the Hammers?
Big Tom, I think. Big Tom will get one.
Let's hope so. Let's get on some score predictions. And yeah, Mandy's ready. Score predictions. Let's get on to them. But whilst we let all of those come in, it's 10 minutes before kickoff. Go roll on 20 minutes, Luke. You're in the dressing room before they go out. What are you saying to the boys that are starting?
Come on, boys. You've seen teams lose this weekend. This chance to get back in there. We can go fifth and be back in that conversation for top four. We won't get top four. I really don't think we'll get there, but you've got to make them players believe it. You have to. But come, boys, go and win this game. Get some confidence. Take it to the Lyon game. And who knows what the future holds. Could be an amazing season.
There we go. Maybe Noble is not starting today because he had to prep his pre-match speech to the players. You go out there and you flipping win this game, because it would
just got his special card on FIFA as well, the Mark Noble one.
Oh. There we go, lovely stuff. The stars are aligning. But in all seriousness, this is a massive game. It probably means more than the Everton game because of the position we're now in, with the other teams slipping up this weekend. It would be such a West Ham thing to go and lose this or draw this or not get the result we want today. But Luke, let's hope that we get the result. For once, we don't make it ridiculously hard for ourselves.
Yeah, we just. I'll tell you what really winds me up with West Ham when we don't press. When we press, we're fantastic when we press.
And we
like in
press the
little
team.
bunches, but we don't do it enough. But in a season, we might do it 25% of our games. But when we press, we are so good, but we just don't do it enough.
No, exactly. You know, when we've got to come at the blocks fast, and you know, we know what Brentford can offer, but let's go and let's get them. Let's get an early goal. You know, let's get them 1,800 in that away end in that corner rocking, because there ain't many of them today. But I'm sure they will make. I'm sure they will make the atmosphere as always. Right, keep your predictions coming in. 31 people watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Let's have a look at some predictions. And so 1-1, 2-1 to West Ham, says Sharky. 2-1 to the Irons. 2 goals for Antonio, says Lawrence. It is indeed a massive game today. 2-2. Oh, hello. What's happened there? There we go. 2-2 Dawson own goal. Oh, Kieran, come on. Up the other end, not an own goal.
Dawson's playing for England in the World Cup, mate.
Yeah.
He's down World Cup.
I tell you what, if there isn't Rice, Bowen and Dawson on that plane to Qatar, I'm going to have serious issues with Mr. Waistcoat. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. No, and I'm not going to wear a waistcoat ever again. But no, we'll have to wait and see. Terry says, I agree with you, Luke. 1-0 would be good. We will have the bit between our teeth for Thursday after robbery at the London Stadium last week. Yeah, you know, we'll have to go and today get it done. Hopefully more than a 1-1 draw. I'm hoping. And then
it's a good point actually, because you've got like Cresswell who can't play Thursday. You know, he's going to be hurt. He's going to want to give it 100% today. Soufal hopefully will get through on adrenaline. You know, because where we ain't played a few games, he'll be up for it, excited. So there's a few players there that maybe can still play for a game on Thursday. That's what's going to be in their heads.
Definitely. That is for sure. Late winners today 2-1 are the scenes for a late winner.
It'd be nice if to do that back to him, wouldn't it? It would be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, Ben Rama late winner, just to have a taste of your own medicine.
I think Eriksen's going to score for them today, though. I think Eriksen might score again for them, make it 3-3.
Yeah, probably. Lawrence says we need to take advantage of this opportunity after the other teams falling, except the Spuds. Indeed, they did beat us at home, but keep the faith. They've gone for a 2-1. Let's hope so, Mandy. Let's hope so. Strangely, the shocking officials may have done us a favour with the ineptness. We will be pumped on Thursday. You know, we got a point to prove, and let's hope we've got more of a decent, not German, no offence, referee that's not gonna do us over. But anyway, we're gonna leave it there. That's the Brentford versus West Ham build-up show. We'll be back on the final whistle. I think me and Kieran to do the post-match breakdown to talk about the game. Hopefully, we're talking about 3 points back to 5th and move on to Thursday night. That's a perfect Sunday afternoon. And I'm going to sit back and watch the Scousers get battered, because the Scousers get battered.
No, I hope so, mate.
That would make a perfect afternoon, because I quite like Burnley, because Dan that comes on the channel, so I kind of want Burnley to stay up, but I don't, because it's just Burnley.
The thing is, if Burnley win, mate, today, it takes a bit of pressure off them in the West Ham game. You know, because they would have. It's that win that keeps them going.
Definitely. Anyone got a stream for the Brentford match? Yeah, there's plenty about. If you go on Twitter, Footy Pass, he will sort you out about 5 to 10 minutes before kickoff. Footy Pass is the way, and yeah, I mean it's not 100% legal, but you got to do it. You got to do it, as everybody will be doing this afternoon. Luke, thank you very much for coming on.
Pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure, mate. As I say, whenever I'm available, I get in contact with you, because most of the time I say I can't make something.
That's all right.
For you today, and tell you what I'm about.
Brilliant. Thanks everybody for watching. As I said, we will be back on the final whistle, hopefully talking about another West Ham 3 points. From me and Luke, come on you irons, and we will catch you soon. Cheers, guys, and bye bye.